Alright, what's up y'all? This will be kind of a build video progress. I'm showing on my wood mono here that I decided to call the Cohiba 600. If you haven't seen in the shorts, I uploaded a couple shorts, but I figured I'd do an official video and just kind of show as I'm going along the progress. So I got the 4 panels installed. This was not a simple process. It's actually quite tricky. So where I messed up, the 2 bottom pieces, you can see it's taped. I didn't get those lined up exactly right, and there's a big gap in the middle of the hole right there, you can probably see. So I'm about to mix up some epoxy and wood dust and fill that in, and then set that and let it cure and sand it and finish it later. There's a little bit of overlap there, but I sanded that down smooth, and I gotta go through and restain the parts that I sanded. This skirt, I want to call it, in the front turned out a little bit uneven, so I had to sand down the left side. But I'm not really sure. I think that's intentional. Lining up the hole seam joints, it kind of met in the middle of the 2 middle pieces. Kind of see what I'm talking about there. But yeah, I thought it would meet at the bottom and make like a, so it kind of folds under there. But yeah, I think that's intentional to keep deflect the water and keep the waves when it dips down into the chop or whatever, because it's supposed to be my wave chopper, rough water boat. We'll see how it handles. So putting one of the side panels on, I think I pressed too hard, and that pushed this whole thing over a little bit, so it kind of bowed the frame. You can kind of see there, I got it all pretty even. I had to take this side down, take this edge down here because the rib was sticking up. I want it all flat for the lid to stick down. I had to take this side down and this back corner on the rudder because the transom's kind of cocked that way, but it should be alright. It looks, I'm the only one that can really tell how off it is, in person, but on camera it should look alright when it's all said and done. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix up some epoxy here and show you how I fill it in. I'll just show you here how this wood turned out. Oh yeah, and I was trying to bend, because this wood, you can kind of see how it sticks up. It was just naturally kind of bowing up, and I was just kind of trying to hand bend it down a little bit to get it to lay down flat like this piece here, but it broke right in my hand. But it's okay, as long as you don't break it off completely. It should be easy repair, because I'm planning to reinforce all this with fiberglass too. So turned out good. Alright, so you can see here I have the epoxy all laid up and applied. And that's mixed with wood dust. I pulled some out of the center here in the back because it was a little bit too much. And I know when you're building boats, you don't want to put too much weight. You want to add lightness, add weight in lightness, so to speak. But I just used the excess up here in the nose just to reinforce that, because the most tension is on this joint right here. So maybe a hard hit or something, or a hard crash, it might split one of those seams. So trying to beef that up and show some of the goodies I got here. Next step will be seal up the inside. I'm not sure if I'm going to use finishing resin or wood varnish, or just watered down epoxy. I have not much left. I have another 2 bottles on the way. Just ordered them up, so got about half a bottle left of finishing resin, so got options. But that's the motor mount that comes with it. I think it'll be alright for this setup. It's going to be a 2968 motor, 3400 kV. But I do have this one here that's 29 to 40 millimeter, and that could also work. I'll just have to remove some of the material here to get it to sit down how it's supposed to sit down, but it does fit. You know, move that around. I'll have to wait for the motor to come in and decide what packs I'm going to use. I think I'm going to run it on 4S, the same batteries we run with the Arrow. And speaking of that, I measured this boat. I'm calling it the Cohiba 600 because it's 600 millimeter. That actually breaks it down to 23.5 inches, more or less. And the Blackjack 24 is exactly that length from transom to tip of the bow. The Arrow's a little under 22 inches. So I'm basing all my hardware choices off of those two boats. Obviously one's a cat, but the Arrow's the main, you know, that's kind of my template. So these trim tabs I chose are actually the exact same size as the ones on the Arrow, but they look a little big for this hole. They might be a little too much. There is room to mount them. I could mount them right in the center, so that might be all right. Rudder, well, the 95 mil, it's the same length, and I just kind of picked through on AliExpress what kind of rudders I liked. I was looking for a dual pickup, but those are, I think they have some on there, but they're kind of hard to find. But the play on this, there's like almost none. It's a really tight rudder, so I'm happy with that. And we're going with the blacked out. I was going to originally go with the all black murdered out look, but decided the rosewood kind of looked a little better, and I think that was a good choice in hindsight. But the rudder should fit somewhere there. I think that'll be all right. And turn fins, I got a set of carbon fibers, and I kind of measured the ones on the Arrow, kind of mixed and matched. We'll see. Those also look kind of big. They look a little big for that boat. So let me know what you guys think. I think I'm going to try and run them anyway, because I got all this hardware for the bigger kit. It was just for the 726 millimeter. I don't know how many inches that is, but it's quite a bit bigger. And another thing, I'm going to link the second store that I bought this from, not the guy that I bought this from, because he's saying that he's trying to make it right, and I have the feeling I'm getting the runaround. But initially this guy tried to tell me that my measurements were wrong, and they sent me the correct kit, which is they sell two different kits, they're two different prices, and the guy was trying to tell me, and he said sent pictures, so I sent pictures with the tape measure, 60 centimeters, which is 600 millimeter. The guy sends me a message back that, oh, my engineer says your measurements are incorrect, that the boat will be 726 millimeters when it's fully assembled. Like it. Okay, if that's the hardware, no. I looked on the tape measure. It's like that much longer. There's no way that much hard. It's like, no, dude, you sent me the wrong kit. So I'm still working on that. I did purchase the 726 from the second vendor, so I'm gonna have a second kit on the way, hopefully here soon. Nothing goes wrong with that, and we'll see for sure if this guy was being honest or not, which I don't think he is. So I think that's gonna be it for this video. Yeah, just gotta wait for that to cure, waterproof that, and then wait for my wait for my motor to come in, and I can start finding CG. Probably putting hardware on there and foam, and we'll be ready to put the lid on. Oh, and I'm working on the hatch steadily. I'm not gonna reveal what it's gonna look like till it's done, but it's gonna take extra work to make it the way I want to look. I'll just say that, but it should look good if everything goes together right. And using my handy dandy hardware tray. Thank you, Paul from Right Place. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all soon.